Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Player Prop Show for Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. Got a big 10-game slate that we are going to discuss tonight. Decided that today I was going to combine my prop show into my live Q&A show. So we're doing both today. I'm going to talk about my plays. I have 5 plays on the slate today. Going to talk about that first, and then we're going to get into questions. So be sure to just send all your questions in. I will get to it at some point in the show after I go through my props first. Before we get started here, just want to remind everyone about Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight is a great place to play all these NBA player prop games. If you're watching this video, if you're a fan of this channel, Monkey Knife Fight is the place for you. Basically, you get all these different prop options, all these different, prop game options that you could play on Monkey Knife Fight. It's a lot of fun. You can go onto Monkey Knife Fight. They'll match your deposit 100% up to $50 with the promo code DUDE50. It's in the top left in the banner on the screen. Be sure to check that out. The link is in the description below. Promo code DUDE50. All right, let's get started right now and talk about my first play on the night. We got the banners back rolling, and we have Jarrett Allen over 12.5 rebounds against the Indiana Pacers in this game. So Jarrett Allen, he has cleared 12.5 rebounds in 4 of his last 5 games. Over his last 5 games, he's gone for 15 rebounds, 9, 18, 14, and 17. So again, 4 out of his last 5, he's cleared this 12.5 number. In his last 8 games, he's averaging 13.4 rebounds per game. Goes up against a Pacers team here that ranks 19th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game. Favorable matchup for Jarrett Allen, obviously. So the fact that, his recent form is so good, the fact that he has an easy matchup here, I like him to go over 12.5 rebounds at minus 132 on DraftKings as the best line I found. Now, let's get right to our next one and talk about Nikola Vucevic over 25.5 points against the Atlanta Hawks. Vucevic averaging 24.5 points per game on the season. However, over his last 6 games, he's averaging 29.7 points per game on 24.2 shots per game. So you know my rule where if a guy is taking a similar number of shots to what the actual prop is, that's usually a good sign for the over. Obviously, the prop's at 25.5 over his last 6 games. I just said he's taking 24.2 shots per game. So just a ton of shots to be taking. Also shooting 51% from the field and 43.2% from 3 over the span. So very efficient during the span, not just chucking up shots. He's been very efficient. Cleared this 25.5 points number in 5 of his last 6 games. Goes up and against the Atlanta Hawks team here that cannot play defense. They rank 21st in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game, 16th in the NBA in opponent points per game in general at 112.2. I expect Vuce to have another big game and go over 25.5 points at minus 120 on FanDuel here. The next player prop that we are going to talk about, we have Zach Levine over 3.53. So, as we know, Zach Levine having an insane year, averaging 28.5 points per game, shooting 43.3% from beyond the arc. He is making 3.5 of his 8.1 three-point attempts per game. So right on the dot with this number here. Over his last 10 games, however, he's averaging 4 threes per game on 8.2 attempts per game. He's hit the over 3.5 threes in 7 of his last 10 games. And look, one of these games, the first one actually out of this 10, so about 10 games ago, he went 9 of 14 from beyond the arc against the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, why? The Pelicans ranked 30th in the NBA in opponent threes made per game at 15.8. That's dead last. They rank 28th in the NBA in opponent threes attempted per game at 40.2. And they rank 28th in opponent three-point percentage at 39.4. They're a disaster defending the three-point line. And as a result, I like Zach Levine to go over 3.5 threes made in this game at minus 125 on DraftKings. Now let's get to our next prop that we're going to talk about from the same game, from the same team. And that is Kobe White over 26.5 points against this New Orleans Pelicans team. Kobe White comes into this game averaging 16, 5, and 5 on the season. So, adding up to about 26 points plus rebounds plus assists. But over his last 4 games, he's averaging 20.4 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, and 3.4 assists per game, adding up to 31 points plus rebounds plus assists. He's cleared this 27.5 points plus rebounds plus assist number in each of his last 4 games. Against the Pelicans last time, he had 30 points, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. I believe he had like 8 threes in that game. So him and Levine combined for like 17 threes or something like that. Again, as I said before, the Pelicans cannot defend the 3 at all. as I just described, talking about Levine. They were also ranked 26th in opponent points per game at 115.9. They rank 29th in opponent assists per game at 27.7. I think this could be a big game for Coby White in all categories, all across the board. And as a result, I like him to go over 26.5 points plus rebounds plus assists at minus 128. That's the best line I found. And again, over these last 4 games, he has cleared this 26.5 number. So I'm pretty convinced that is going to hit. And then we have Marvin Bagley over 16.5 points as our last play. This is a little bit off the map. We're going to Sacramento here against the Lakers. The thing with the Lakers here, no Davis, no LeBron, possibly no Kuzma. He's questionable. And then also no Marc Gasol. If there is one area that the Lakers struggle, it is, defending the paint. I took DeAndre Ayton over points. If you listen to my podcast, that was available to everyone on my Patreon yesterday. I took DeAndre Ayton over points because if the Lakers are weak in one area, it is defending the paint. They rank 17th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game at 47.7. And again, they don't have a lot of, guys who specialize in defending the paint tonight. So look, Bagley's been playing well lately, 24, 19, and 19, as I said, in his last 3. I like Marvin Bagley to go over 16.5 points tonight against the Lakers. So we got the props on the bottom here. In case you're coming in late, those are all my props on the night, all 5 of them. Now let's get right to questions. Keep the questions flowing. Ready to answer all of them. Here we go. LaMelo and Lonzo, both over 2.5 threes. Yeah, so the thing with Lonzo Ball, I believe I looked at his 3-point prop, but the line was not great, whatever it was. Like the juice was not great. Let me take a quick look here. So we got, trying to just taking a look at the juice here on Lonzo. So yeah, he is minus 175. So yeah, you'd obviously be parlaying those together because you don't want to just bet 17 to win 17.5 to win 10 or 175 to win 100, whatever your unit size is. You don't want to just be doing that on a prop like this, even though Lonzo has been hitting this pretty consistently. Now, in terms of LaMelo, plays against a Timberwolves team. The Timberwolves are pretty bad in every single category, except for threes. Like they actually are. Teams don't shoot a lot of threes against them. They don't give up a lot of threes. They actually rank, let me get this up here. They rank 3rd in the NBA in opponent threes made per game at just 11.5. They rank 1st in the NBA in opponent 3-point pointers attempted per game at 30.5. So I'm not huge on LaMelo going over 2.5 threes. I'd probably rather stick to 20.5 points, but I'm good with Lonzo over 2.5 threes against the Bulls. What is up, Jokic? Okay, you got a few picks in mind. Be sure to send them. You got them up here. Okay, next down in the next comment. Okay, here we go. So you send a whole list. I am gonna go by, just talk about each prop individually instead of just reading it all off because then it'll get confusing for everyone. So Norman Powell over 22.5 points goes up against the Detroit Pistons tonight. I believe let me just check something up here. All right. Yeah, there's no Siakam out through the All-Star break. Yeah, I mean, the Pistons, they can't defend. I have written down, I didn't end up taking anything for this game. I do have written down Pistons, Raptors, just points in general. I think that they have a good chance to hit over props here. Let me just check Norman Powell's previous game logs, but I'm leaning towards liking it. Scored 30 last game, 17-24. I'm good with that. Jared Allen under 15.5 points against the Pacers. So that line is a little bit high. I will say that, but the Pacers are not good at defending the paint at all. The Pacers actually rank 24th in opponent points in the paint per game at 49.5. So not huge on that. Not huge on the under there, despite the fact that I think it is a pretty high line. Maxi Kleber over 7.5 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder. No Doncic. I'm okay with that. Coby White over 4.5 assists against the New Orleans Pelicans, who ranked 29th in the NBA in opponent assists per game. I like that. Kyrie Irving over 4.5 rebounds. That is a prop I was actually looking at. I like that as well. And then Mike Conley over 5.5 assists against the Philadelphia 76ers. Let me just take a quick look at Conley here, his last few games. Normally the Sixers, they're pretty good in, all categories here. Sixers, they rank at 12th in the NBA in opponent assists per game. You got Conley here averaging 5.8 assists per game. Last few games, he's gone 8, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm okay with that then. What is up, Red Letter Day? How would this be for a safe parlay? Dwayne Bacon under 14.5 points and Embiid under 32.5 points. Bledsoe over 10.5. I'm good with Bledsoe over 10, but I think Embiid goes over, and that's my main concern. I think Embiid has a huge night against Indiana. Yep, we got Embiid going over. Yep, I agree with that. Hawks money line at minus 140 against Orlando, and Kevin Huerter over 12.5. No Cam Reddish. You wrote no Huerter, but hold on one sec. Let me just check this. No Reddish. Yeah. I'm not huge on Hawks money line, definitely, because I'm just not big on the Hawks at all right now. In terms of Kevin Huerter over 12.5 points, let me just take a quick look. But I did write down Hawks threes because Orlando cannot defend the three. That being said, in terms of Huerter points here, and obviously Huerter shoots a lot of threes. Yeah, he's cleared in his last three. I'm neutral on it, but I don't like Hawks. I do not like Hawks money line. I'm good with Huerter. Vucevic over 12 rebounds, no Capella in this game. Yeah, I would be okay with that. The Hawks rank, let me grab this up here. The Hawks rank 8th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game, but no Capella, so that'll go down a lot. I would rather personally stick to Vucevic points over 25.5, but I'm okay with over 12 rebounds. What is up, Alex? What do you think about Conley over 6 assists? Good with that, as I just said before, and Jalen Brunson over 28 fantasy with no Doncic. I'm okay with that, yeah. Lonzo Ball over 15.5. I like that against the Bulls. It's a good matchup. Zion over 26.5. Yeah. So Zion, I actually saw his line at 28.5, but if you're able to get that at 26.5, good for you. That's great value. The Bulls, they cannot defend the paint at all. They rank 27th in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game at 50 per game. That's a disaster if you're guarding Zion, so he should go over that. Brogdon over 22.5 points if Sabonis is out against Cleveland. Yeah, I'm good with that. Towns over 24.5 points against Charlotte. I'm not huge on that. He's been a little bit inconsistent with that. And Charlotte is not like they're bad in terms of they're decent at defense, I should say. Kind of middle of the pack in opponent points per game. Honestly, pretty good in terms of opponent points in the paint per game, I believe. Yeah, no, actually they're right in the middle again. Yeah, 14th. So yeah, I'm not huge on that. Do you like Draymond over 9.5 assists or over 35 fantasy points more? I would rather go with over 9.5 assists. Do I like Sacramento money line against the Lakers? I mean, if they don't win tonight, Luke Walton should be fired. That's my answer to that. So yeah. Kobe White over 17.5 points, tons of Bulls injuries. Yeah, my prop for tonight on him is over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists, but I like 17.5 also. I was actually deciding between both, and I decided to go with 26.5 points, rebounds, assists. That being said, I like Kobe White over 17.5. Harden over 20.5 points plus assists or over 27.5 points. I would assume that is supposed to be 30.5 because points plus assists would not be under points. That being said, I would prefer whatever the points plus assist line is against Houston. Sexton over 24.5 points. I'm good with that. Indiana's not good on defense. Conley over 15.5 points or Clarkson over 21.5 points plus assists. I'm leaning towards Conley. Oh, okay. Here, wait. Quick, 1 sec. 20.5 rebounds plus assists. I would rather. That's a tough call. I think I would rather go with over 27.5 points, but I'm a little bit worried because I think that it could be a blowout in this game, the way Houston's been playing, and then in that case, both props may be dead. Anyway, back to this here from James. Conley over 15.5 points or Clarkson over 21.5 points plus assists. I'm gonna probably lean towards. Clarkson for sure over 21.5 points plus assists. Zion over 25.5 points for sure. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 24.5 points and Draymond assists. Yeah, I'm okay with both of them. Harden threes 3.5. That I'm not huge on. Not huge on that. I would probably rather stick to another one of Harden's props. But again, I'm a little worried with Harden because I think it may be a blowout. Anthony Edwards over 20.5 points. He's shooting like 20 times a game over his last three to four. I'm okay with Anthony Edwards over 20.5, but I do think it's a little bit high. Do I think Harden hits 10 assists tonight? Blowout potential game there. Yeah, as I'm saying, potential blowout, but I think he'll hit 10 assists. Do I like Lonzo over points, 14.5, or Zion over 27.5 more? I think I'm going to have to go with Zion on this one. It's a really good matchup for him. The Bulls can't defend the paint. Zion's been going crazy lately. Do I like Bagley rebounds over as well? 7.5? Yes. I'm good with that. I would rather stick to points, but I'm okay with that. Garland over 26.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Yeah, so this is a good matchup for Garland. He was on my list for over 6.5 assists potentially, but I ended up cutting him at the last second when I was cutting my list down at the end for my props tonight. Yeah, I mean, he should score probably around 16, 15 points. I do expect him to have 7 or 8 assists tonight. And then let's see what he's just been doing recently, but I know he's been close near 10 assists lately. Yeah, so last few games, he's gone 14, 7, and 3. That would be under, but then 25, 9, and 2. 25, 9, and 2, 11, 10, and 4. Honestly, if I were to go with a Garland prop, it would be over 6.5 assists instead. And the reason why is because the Pacers rank 24th in opponent assists per game at 25.7. So if I'm going to do a Garland prop, I would rather do over 6.5 assists. That being said, I don't mind 26.5 points, rebounds, assists. John Wall over 38 fantasy points. Yeah, I mean, he does have an easy matchup against the Nets, who let up a ton of points, just an absolute ton of points. The thing I'm worried about here is that just Brooklyn the Houston just continues to get blown out. I think if I had to choose, I would go with over for 38 fantasy points. Embiid over under 29.5 points. I like him to go over 29.5 tonight. Lowry double-double against the Pistons. Yeah, let me just check. I want to check the odds on that, actually. Keep the questions coming. Got a lot more time here. I will answer a bunch of questions. Taking a quick look at the Lowry double-double line. He's plus 135 to go for a double-double. Yeah, I can't say I'm huge on that because he hasn't had 10 assists or even 10 other than last game where he had 20, 10, and 11. He has not gone over 10 rebounds or 10 assists since February 2nd. So no, I'm not huge on that, especially at those odds. What bets? What do I have for myself today? They're scrolling across the bottom. I would not have them scrolling across the bottom if I were not doing them. So just to read them off again for you, Jared Allen over 12.5 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic over 25.5 points. Zach Levine over 3.5 threes. Kobe White over 26.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. And then Marvin Bagley over 16.5 points. More or less fantasy points on Monkey Knife Fight. Love to see it. We got Monkey Knife Fight in the chat. Thaddeus Young, 45.5. Oh, Trae Young. I don't know what. You want to know why I got Thaddeus Young on my mind? Because I saw the Knicks trade rumor the other day for him. So I'm like, I got Thaddeus Young. Trae Young over 45. Trae Young 45.5. Kyrie Irving 47.5. Karl Anthony Towns 50.5. Yeah, if I had to choose here, so I think Trae Young has a solid matchup against Detroit, so I like him to go over there. Kyrie Irving, 47.5 fantasy points. I think this is going to be a blowout against Houston, and it's Harden's night because he's playing his former team, so I would go under for Kyrie. And then Towns 50.5. That's steep. So that's my toughest one in my opinion. I definitely am over on Trae Young 45.5. Kyrie under. I'm pretty solid on the under for 47.5. Towns, I'm probably leaning towards under 50.5 just because I think it's a very high number, but I'm a little bit neutral on that. If I had to choose, I'd probably go under. Which matchup tonight do you like for player props? Yeah, well, I mean, I have my 5 props on the bottom. There's a lot of, you could probably look at a lot of over props in Pelicans Bulls as well, because this is going to be a very high scoring game. 2 teams that don't play a lot of defense, over under 237 on the night, which is the highest on the slate. Also probably the same for Warriors, Blazers will be a high scoring game at 233.5. Timberwolves Hornets, another one of those, 233 over under. Lakers versus Sacramento, OKC versus Dallas, best prop bet. Yeah, so my best prop in Lakers Sacramento is Marvin Bagley over 16.5 points, which is scrolling on the bottom. OKC versus Dallas, I kind of like Porzingis rebounds tonight. If you could get him at like 9.5, I've only seen him at 10.5. I don't mind that. I wouldn't say it's my favorite prop. I don't have a prop that I love in particular for that game. Otherwise, I would have talked about it. But I do like Shea over points at 24.5, and I think Porzingis has a big night as well with no Doncic. Any Philly-Utah props? Yeah, I got nothing in particular I love from Philly-Utah. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over 1.5 threes against Dallas. I like it. Dallas, so just to give you some exact stats here, instead of just saying I like it. Dallas ranks 25th in the NBA in opponent threes made per game at 13.6. So, yeah. Zach Levine over 3.5 threes. Yeah, I mean, I have it as one of my picks tonight. As you can see, scrolling on the bottom, Levine over 3.5 threes. And then thoughts on Warriors Trailblazers. Yeah, so I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for props there. I just liked other props better, honestly, and that's why I didn't include any of them in my 5 props that I do like from this game. I do like Draymond over 9.5 assists, but I wouldn't consider that like a priority. I also like, there was one more, I believe. Yeah, I don't mind Damian. Hold on. Well, I think Lillard is going to have a huge night. He always shows up against the Warriors. I think Lillard will have a huge night, but that line is insane at 33.5 points. So this is why, again, I think that there's a lot of opportunities here, but the problem is that all these props just got pretty much jacked up because the over-under is so high. So again, I think Curry and Lillard probably have big nights, but the props are a little bit high. I do like Draymond over assists. Lonzo over 15.5 points, I like. Embiid over 29.5 points, I like. Garland over 6.5, I like. I like all 3. Edwards over 19.5. Yeah, a little bit high for sure. But, he's been shooting a lot. He's been putting up in the 20s the last few games. Easy matchup against Charlotte. I like it. Zion over 40.5 points, rebounds, assists. I like it for sure. For sure, I like it. I think he's going to go 30-plus in terms of points tonight. So that should pretty much clinch that. Saddiq Bey over 24 fantasy points. Let me check on Saddiq Bey. He was playing really well. Just want to check his exact numbers lately. So he is playing Toronto, which isn't the easiest of matchups. He's been going 10-4-4, 17-6-3, 13-2-2. So he's kind of been around that 24 fantasy points number. I'm honestly not huge on that against Toronto. I just want to check DraftKings real quick to see if I could get his exact fantasy points. Just loading up 1 second here. Saddiq Bey. Just news that Tobias Harris will play tonight as I'm checking this. Yeah, so last 2 games on DraftKings, Saddiq Bey has gone for 16, 32, 20, 31, 25. Again, I think it's a tough matchup against Toronto. I'm pretty neutral on it. Not huge on it. Think Kyrie could go 10 rebounds plus assists over. Sound good? Yeah, I think he could get that. If I had to choose 2 more single props, not points, rebounds, assists, what would you do? So yeah, the last few that were cut off my list, I cut off Darius Garland over 6.5 assists. I like that. And honestly, I'm leaning more and more. So the seventh one I would not say is like certain, but I'm leaning more towards any kind of huge Zion night tonight. I have a bunch of people who are asking me over 26.5, 27.5. If you could somehow get that line there, I think it's worth it for Zion. I also like points, rebounds, assists with Zion. I know you said not points, rebounds, assists here. I'm just saying I do like points as well. Zion over under 27.5 points. I like the over. Kyrie over under 27.5. I'm going to say under for Kyrie for points tonight. And the reason why is simply because I think it's going to be a blowout. All right, we got a lot more questions in here. We're going to keep it going. Cantor, 28.5 points plus rebounds. Not a huge fan of it. Now, I know he's probably going to get a ton of rebounds tonight, given the fact that the Warriors are not good in terms of rebounding, but I just don't trust him to get the points to make 28.5 happen. Norman Powell over 23. Yeah, so somebody asked over 22.5. I'm probably good with 22.5. 23 is a little bit steep, but I think he should hit it with no Siakam and a lot of other guys out. Porzingis, 24.5, no Luka. I like the over. Lots of solid picks tonight. Thanks, man. Can we get a shout out for the Sportsbook Discord? Yeah. I heard that I was dropped in the Sportsbook Discord. So thank you everyone thank you everyone who's watching from there. Thank you to whoever dropped me in there. Really appreciate it. We got 44 people watching in here right now, which is great. So I think it's amongst the highest we ever got. So Maxi Kleber over 13.5 points plus rebounds with no Doncic should get a few more touches, and I like it. Easy matchup against OKC. We liking Cantor tonight. In terms of rebounding, yeah, but his rebound is at 14.5. I think it's a little bit too high, so I'm going to shy away from Cantor. Lillard, 38.5 points rebounds, or Curry, 36.5 points rebounds. I think both probably go in the mid-30s in points tonight, if I had to guess. So I like both. If I had to choose one, I'm going with tough choice. If I had to choose one, I'll go with Lillard. Norman Powell over 23.5. Yeah, I just mentioned this. I'm good with it. 76ers money line against Utah. That's an interesting one. Tobias was just announced as back. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I would not go there just against the way Utah's playing. Do I like Penn State -5 tonight? Yeah, I'm officially checked out on Penn State basketball. That being said, Penn State -5. They just got blown out by Purdue at home the other night. What a disaster that is. Glad to see that this season's coming to an end. It had so much hope just a few weeks ago, and then all of a sudden just crashed all the way down. Do I like Penn State -5 against Minnesota? Minnesota cannot play on the road. They're very cold. I do think Penn State wins tonight. Do I like -5? Probably not. I'm not huge on the points there. I'd be fine with the money line. I don't think they're also in like a free fall. Like I can't get behind -5 the way they're playing. Levine over 30.5. I like. Smash the like button. Yes, thank you, Bill. Everyone who's watching, smash the like button. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @sports_Burd. Really, really would help me out. Steven Adams over 8.5 rebounds. Does that looks good? Let me just go check Steven Adams quickly. So the Bulls are actually a much better rebounding team than you think. Steven Adams. Adams averaging 9.2 rebounds per game on the season. Last few games has gone 11, 6, 13, 15. Goes up against a Bulls team here. As I said, Bulls are solid rebounding. They're not like they're 10th in the NBA in rebounding. So that 10th is good. It's not like elite to the point where you can't do it. I like it. I like over 8.5. Garland 2 threes. So yeah, Indiana ranks 12th in opponent threes made per game. Now, in terms of Garland, could he get 2 threes? Garland. Just see. his last few games, 0 for 3, 2 for 5, 3 for 10, 1 for 5, 2 for 5, 2 for 7. I honestly think it's a 50-50 coin flip. If I had to choose, I would probably not go with it, because usually when taking over threes props, I like taking guys who shoot at a high volume. He's just very inconsistent with volume. So in terms of how many threes he shoots. Anthony Edwards over 3.5 assists. I like that. Charlotte ranks last in the league in an opponent assists per game. Yeah, also, so quickly before we get on to the next question, just wanted to mention Monkey Knife Fight. If you go onto Monkey Knife Fight, which if anyone doesn't know, Monkey Knife Fight is a website just that specializes in a ton of player prop games. You could basically, take what you get from this chat, go over to Monkey Knife Fight and play a bunch of the games over there in terms of props. You all are doing research with props, and I'm sure everyone who's doing research has an edge. And you go onto Monkey Knife Fight, you put in the promo code DUDE50, which is in the top left of the screen here, and you get an 100% deposit matchup up to $50. So if you put that promo code in, it pays off. So go check it out. Monkey Knife Fight link is in the description below. Also, if you like this content, I am doing NBA player prop podcasts. So a similar version to this, except for it's pre-recorded. Obviously, I post the podcast on Patreon. And then what'll happen is that is every Tuesday and Thursday. So the days that I'm not here, obviously I'm on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Patreon is Tuesday, Thursday. So if you really like this content, be sure to subscribe to that. There's also a Discord chat where you can ask me all these questions that you're asking in the chat at all times, and I will be sure to answer them. Check that out. Link in the description below. Enes Kanter under 14.5 rebounds. I wouldn't go under just because the Warriors are so bad rebounding, but I do think it's high, if that makes sense. Trae Young over 9 assists. I'm okay with that against the Pistons. Bruce Brown over 12.5 with the way he's been playing. Sure. Boucher over 16.5 points. Yeah, there's a little bit of inconsistency there. Going to look at I am going to take a look at Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher, he was great at the beginning of the year. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, which is disappointing because I think he's really good. Last few games, he's gone 7, 11, 10, 17. Now, I know there's no Siakam. I'm not huge on it still. Ton more questions. Keep them coming. Love to see it. Kobe White over 4.5 rebounds. Yeah, I'm good with that. Pelicans are a good rebounding team, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. There's going to be a lot of rebounding opportunities, so yeah. Favorite underdog bet. Let me go pull it up here. So yeah, I usually, like I've said in the past, I'm not huge on betting the NBA games straight up on the spread or money line, just because there's a lot of unpredictability, and I think that props are just better. But if I had to pick an underdog bet today, taking a quick look here. Underdog bet. If I had to go an underdog bet, I honestly like Portland at plus 110 against Golden State. Do I cap the NHL? No. The extent of my NHL knowledge goes to Let's Go Islanders in the playoffs, and that's about it. Raptors -7. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. This line on DraftKings is 7.5. You get it at 7. I'm good with that against Detroit. Rockets to cover the spread and Pacers money line. Yeah, I think the Rockets get blown out tonight. I know they may have increased motivation, but so will Harden. I'm not. I can't get behind the Rockets the way they've been. So no, I'm not huge on that. But in terms of Pacers money line, I would be good with that. Jeremy Grant out. Mason Plumlee over 31.5 fantasy points, or Saddiq Bey over 24 fantasy points. Yeah, so I actually got asked about Saddiq Bey before. I honestly let me just check back to who I was talking about Saddiq Bey. Where did this Saddiq Bey come from? I don't know, but I got asked about Saddiq Bey before, and I said I wasn't huge on it. That being said, I honestly had it completely got past me that Jeremy Grant is out tonight, so my bad on that. I would probably rather against Toronto. I would rather Saddiq Bey over 24 than Mason Plumlee. Missed the start. What are your locks of the day? So they're scrolling amongst the bottom. So if anyone is just new to this, after I go over it at the beginning, I put my picks on the bottom below, scrolling, just so you could come in and check them out if you are late. That being said, I'll read them off. My picks for the day are. Wait, I'm going to wait till they re-scroll on the bottom here so it's on time. Okay. Jared Allen over 12.5 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic over 25.5 points. Zach Levine over 3.5 threes. Kobe White over 26.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. And Marvin Bagley over 16.5 points. If I had to choose one, which would you choose? Zion over 27.5 points. Kobe White over 4.5 assists or 30 plus fantasy points. Also, since Harris is in, you like over 3 assists for Tobias. Let me just check Tobias real quick, and then I'll get to the other one. So out of all those, which would I choose? I think Kobe White's going to have a huge night. I think so. Here's what, if I had to choose one. I like Zion over 27.5 points. I like Kobe White over 4.5 assists. I like over 30 plus fantasy points. If I had to choose one, I'm probably rolling with Kobe White over 30 plus fantasy points. I'll go with the pick I have basically. Now Tobias to go over 3 assists. I'm okay with it. I'm neutral on it. Yeah, man. Thank you, Daniel. 3 players for same game parlay and Jazz Sixers. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I didn't love any props with Jazz Sixers tonight, and we're gonna take a quick look here, though. I'll try to put something together for you. Hopefully they didn't take everything down that Tobias is ruled in, but I think and our computer's basically completely frozen right now. My bad. We're going slow here. 1 sec. All right. Our computer's completely frozen here. That being said, let me try to get it up on my phone because I want to give you this answer. Sorry about this. 3 players, same game parlay. Sixers versus the Jazz. Okay, we're good on my phone. So yeah, I do like Clarkson tonight. Jordan Clarkson, I like Embiid tonight because if the Jazz struggle in one area, it is points in the paint per game. Opponent points in the paint per game, I should say. I also think Simmons. You could probably get a pretty solid Simmons rebounds assist line. Let me see what I don't know if you could put that in the same game parlay though. I'm not 100% sure. But I do like, if I had to pick 3 players, I do like Clarkson tonight. I do like Embiid, and I do like Ben Simmons tonight. Of all of your picks for the day, which of the 3 would you feel safest parlaying? Thanks again and good luck, everyone. Yeah, thanks for the question, Jokic. So out of the 3 that I would feel most comfortable parlaying, I would say I like Jared Allen over 12.5 rebounds, Vucevic over 25.5 points, and Levine over 3.5 threes. So I would say the first 3. But I mean, I think that would be the 3 I'm most confident in. For sure, Allen rebounds. For sure, 25.5 points for Vucevic, and then Levine threes. Yeah, for sure. Those are the 3. All right, I have this for today. Lonzo over 15.5 points. Good with that. Garland over 6.5 assists. I like that. Embiid over 29.5 points. I like that. Bagley over 8.5 rebounds. I would rather points, but I don't mind that. And Josh Richardson over 1.5 threes. Without Luka, I'm good with that. Levine over 3.5 threes. Yep. Do I have a lean on the Nets-Rockets game? Stay close or blowout? I think blowout, if I had to guess. Vucevic over 26.5. Yep, like it. Player prop for the Pistons. I'm not huge on anything with Detroit tonight, honestly. Sixers plus 3.5. I like Utah. Thoughts on John Wall revenge game narrative against Harden? Yeah, I mean, it's a narrative, but if it's a blowout, it might not be great. Obviously, the Nets are going to let up a lot of points probably, so that could help them. But I'm still worried about the blowout here. Bulls or Pelicans? I like New Orleans. Does Jordan Clarkson 6 rebounds plus assists do you look good to you? Let me just take a quick look at him recently. Clarkson. Alrighty. So he's cleared it in his last 2 games, going for 9. Then in the 3 games before that, he's had 6. So if you just need like over 5.5, if you just need 6, then yeah, I like it. Evan Fournier out. Terrence Ross over 28 fantasy points. I'm good with that. Boucher over 7.5 rebounds. So just taking a quick look here. Yeah, Pistons are not good in terms of rebounding. I'm not huge on it. I mean, yeah, I know there's no Siakam. I'm not huge on it. Can we get a parlay for Rockets Brooklyn? Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a blowout. That's my main concern on that game. So if I had to give you a recommendation, I would say I would not parlay that game, just because I think it is gonna be a blowout. That being said, I think Harden does well. I would think you probably get a solid night from John Wall, even though I'm really not huge on him tonight. Bruce Brown, 11.5 points. That looks good. So if I had to give you a parlay, put Bruce Brown over 11.5 points in there. Then I would probably look into something like Harden. And then I'd probably look into something like Harden points maybe. And then Harden assists. I'm not huge on this game because I really think it's going to be a blowout. So I think everything's tough to read. Brandon Ingram under 25.5 points. I'm okay with that. I know this is for player props. What do you think about Bulls Pelicans? First quarter over 58.5 points. They combined for 78 last time. Yeah, I like that. It's going to be a very high scoring game. So it's not unfathomable to think it'll be 30-30 in the first. Brogdon over 21.5 if Sabonis is out. Yep. Sabonis over 45.5 fantasy points. If he plays, yes. But yeah, he's questionable. Where can we find your podcast? So yeah, my podcast is so here's the thing. So I usually upload my videos from YouTube onto my podcast, the Sports Burd podcast. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify. But if we're talking about podcasts for tomorrow, podcast for Tuesdays and Thursdays, that is on my Patreon in the link in the description below. So if you're interested in podcasts for Tuesdays and Thursdays, then yeah, check it out. Patreon, link in the description below. Harden over PRA again. Theoretically, if this game is close, yes, he'll hit it. Do I think it's going to be close? No. Yeah, so it was a promotion. All right. Dope. John Collins over 34 fantasy points against the Magic. He's a little bit inconsistent, but I think I'm okay with that. All right. Do we got any other questions for tonight? Any other questions? Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, check out Monkey Knife Fight, promo code DUDE50, 100% deposit matchup up to $50. Check out my Patreon in the link in the description below. You get 2 podcasts a week. You get Tuesday podcast and Thursday podcast, similar format to my normal videos. It's just on a podcast version. So check that out in the link in the description below. And yeah, follow me on Twitter as well at sports_bird. Any other questions before we head out today? Oladipo over 21.5 points. Not huge on it. Been inconsistent. I know it's against the Nets, though. Allen is 13.5 on my site. Should I take it? Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm okay with it. I like the number at 12.5 better, obviously, but I'm okay with 13.5. Not as huge on it, though. All right. Any last minute questions? Any more we got? Thank you, everyone, for watching. This is one of the most watched live shows so far. This is only growing. I see new people in every single time. I absolutely love to see it. Thank you once again, everyone. Jalen Brunson over 32 fantasy points. I am good with that with Doncic out. But yeah, once again, like this video, subscribe to this channel, check out Monkey Knife Fight, promo code DUDE50 for an 100% deposit matchup up to $50. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon for podcast Tuesdays and Thursdays for NBA player props. Yeah. Also, you can check out if you're big into golf, you can check out my video with Sal Vetri over on his channel earlier today. That was great. Yeah, and shout out Discord to Jens, everyone who's in that Discord who is, come over to here. Absolutely great. Love to see it. Really appreciate everyone watching. Goodbye, everyone, and good luck with your props tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me as well.